Okay, so a while ago someone said on an email, could we have a look at how much silage and maize you've got left, and I thought now would be quite a good chance because we're at the end of February and it's only probably about a month till the cows go out, maybe a little bit more depending on what the weather does. So it's a good time to sort of take stock of how much forage we've got left, because it's kind of always a little bit, you know, you might not have enough, you might not have too, you might have plenty or too much. So we're going to have a quick look at the silage and maize clamp. And here it is behind me. Some of you who watched my videos before would have seen that we do self-feed, pretty old-fashioned system, but for the amount of cows we've got it still works. And this year we've got plenty of silage left. If you look here, if you watched any of the silage making videos from 2015, we made the silage sort of finished about the front on here, roughly, you know, where that sort of lighter coloured line is coming down, and we've gone back a bay and a half. At the moment we've got three bays left, and I dare say we'll probably get through at least another bay, I would have thought. Well, another bay. But the thing is, that is a lot more than we normally have. I'd expect normally to be back on the very back bay, right up there. You can, judging it by bays, I'm sort of saying the sections between the concrete. And the thing is, part of the reason for that is we've still got quite a lot of maize left, because we made quite a lot of maize last year. The other thing as well, it's been very mild, so the cows really haven't eaten like they do. And I think we've got a few less dairy cows at the moment. We've got quite a lot of dry cows, so they're not in the herd, so they're not eating the silage so quickly. And if we have a quick look at the silage, it's nice quality this year. It's got a nice smell. If any of you know what silage smells like, you can have a bit of a putrid smell. It can smell quite nice. Well, farmer term of nice. It's not like sniffing steak and chips, but it smells quite nice. Not a lot of waste on it this year either. Sometimes we have a lot of waste on the top. We use an additive called EcoSile, and it does seem to help with the fermentation. So that's our silage clamp. So we're not going to make so much silage this year, I think, because we just won't need to. We won't be able to fit it in the clamp for starters. So we'll have a quick look in the maize clamp, which is next door. Now, quite often at this time of year we've run out of maize, but we've still got a reasonable amount left. Here's our fertiliser, which I should be putting on later in the year. I think there's 12 tonnes of fertiliser there. But here's our maize clamp. Now again, I would expect quite often we've run out at this time of year, but because it was a good growing season last year, we had a lot of maize, or the maize grew really well, and we've still got a section left. And again, the quality is not bad. We don't put any additive on this, but we don't really have a lot of waste, and you can see on the top there, it's not too bad. Sometimes get a bit of waste on the shoulder there. This stuff doesn't smell as nice as silage, if you ask me. A bit of a musty smell. It's a normal smell of maize silage, but you can see the kernels in it. Actually, you can just see the, what is, some people might call it sweet corn. Look. But there's the maize. But we're sticking with that, some protein. And if we look over here, we haven't got much of that left. It's rape meal, right down to the scrapings now. But the thing is, because the milk price is quite poor, I'm not sure whether we're going to bother putting any more protein with it. We'll lose some milk, but the thing is, once the milk price falls below a certain amount, it's not really viable to keep putting this expensive protein with the maize. So it's kind of a balance of whether it's worth getting the extra litres against the cost of the protein. Well, I haven't quite worked that out yet. Anyway, I thought we'd now go and have a quick look at the grass fields. Right, so I'm just going to come out into the new orchard we planted a few years ago and just look at the grass out here, because this is always the first field we let our cows out in the spring. First day they go out, they come in here. Now some years, by this time, there's hardly any grass, but you can actually see there is quite a good length of grass on this field. Well, for this, certainly this time of year. And that is purely because it's been just so mild, the grass hasn't stopped growing. Now bearing in mind it isn't really the growing season yet, and I haven't put any fertiliser on this. This is quite good because there's a bite of grass on here now. So it won't take long to get the grass going, and I'm hoping we can get these out, the cows out in here, the sort of beginning of April really. You know, some years I've been out here and there's been hardly anything at this time of year, and it's been like, oh my god, the cow's going to be until mid-April or even later. But we're looking, I think, to the beginning of April, so we'll see. But there's certainly a bite of grass here now for the cows. We just won't want to let them out now because they won't have anything to follow on, and also they'll make a bit of a mess because it's still very damp. But you can see, compared with what it is like some years, that's a pretty good cover. Right, anyway, I'm off.